All right, so the first pay-per-view of the year is a TNA one. Boo! TNA Genesis 2012, and
It's
there's
going to
8
be
matches.
spectacular.
Yeah, it's gonna be daystacular, isn't it?
That's a low blow.
So there's 8 matches on the card, and the card actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, there's some big names missing, like there's no Anderson, there's no Sting, there's no Hogan, no Jarrett, no Bischoff or Bischoff's son or anything like that. But what we got? We got the lineup right here. We got starting off with the Pope versus Devon. Now, keep in mind, for anybody who's listening to these predictions out there, these are completely blind predictions for me. I don't watch Impact, so I don't know what the storylines are, other than if they've been carried over from the last pay-per-view. So I know that the whole thing with Pope and Devon, I'm assuming, is still about the kids.
Yep.
And if they're going to continue this any longer, then the Pope has to win.
You know, this is actually the longest running feud in TNA.
Which says a lot.
The whole of 2011 has been this feud. And I think the majority of it is because they have no idea what to do with these two.
Yeah.
But
Can't blame them.
right.
No, I wouldn't know what to do with them either.
The Pope needs to win here more than Devon, truthfully. Because the Pope's been getting so many stalled pushes. They need to move him up, hopefully, to the main event. Because he belongs there. He's proven time and time again that he belongs working in the main event, even if it's not for the world title.
All right, what do you think, Days? Pope or Devon?
I'm going to go with Pope just so the feud keeps going.
Alrighty. Then we've got Rob Van Dam versus Gunner. I'm kind of at a loss here because I thought that Rob Van Dam was feuding with Christopher Daniels here, and Daniels isn't even on the card, let alone AJ Styles, another one that should be on the card. But so I don't know what the storyline is between RVD and Gunner, but I'm going to have to go with Gunner just because it's a seemingly new feud, and you got to start off with something. So what the hell? I'll take a shot in the dark and go with Gunner here.
I'm going with Gunner too, and I don't see RVD being on television after this match.
Why is that?
Because I don't really think he wants to be in TNA, to tell you the truth. You know, he's not really done anything. Ever since he lost the world title, he hasn't been in the main event, apart from like a couple of times he had that matches with Mr. Anderson, but that was it. He's just being used to put everybody else over.
You gotta go with the trifecta here, and Daisy going with Gunner as well?
Yes. I don't know who he is, but I'm going with him.
So that's enough for that. We got a Monsters Ball match between Bully Ray and Abyss. And I'm going to switch it up here and go with the babyface and say that, or I'm assuming a babyface, that Abyss wins this match.
I say Bully Ray.
Tiebreaker, Days.
I'm going to go no contest.
Of course you're going to go with that just to be a dick, right?
I would say Abyss. I don't have a reason. This one with that because with A.
Well, if Abyss loses, he rejoins Immortal. So
there's a stipulation to this. I didn't know about that. If
isn't he already a part of Immortal?
Yeah, then they kicked him out because they just kicked him out. So then they asked him to come back, and he said no. And then they said, "We'll be your friend," and he said no.
And he said, "No, I've got the basketball. I'm taking it home."
Yeah, pretty much.
So, is there anything that's on the line if Abyss wins?
Yes.
Then what?
If he wins, they leave him alone. Basically, that's it.
Oh God, I'm gonna watch this tomorrow. Fuck this. All right, so I'm still sticking with Abyss winning.
Yeah, I wanted him to have like 5 minutes alone with Eric Bischoff, but that didn't happen.
Jeez. And we've got Kurt Angle against James Storm. Now, Storm won the last one, right?
Yep.
So I gotta go with Kurt Angle on this one then. Feud's got to continue. You got to have somebody switch it up. Heel's got to win.
I say James Storm.
Another tiebreaker, Days.
I'm going to go with Storm. I think Kurt's kind of weaning himself out of Impact because he seems to be pushing for this Olympics thing.
Yeah, but do they want to push him with the Olympics thing? That's the issue right here.
I think they should push him off a cliff, but that's just me.
Well, then that would be disrespectful, and you know how Kurt Angle is with the whole respect thing.
I'm sorry, my
I'm
mic was hacked.
What was that, Dace?
I'm going to start using the ankle lock as soon as he falls off the cliff.
We should touch on that real quick. Kurt Angle is bitching and complaining again because of Jack Swagger using the ankle lock and Randy Orton using the ankle slam, saying that it's disrespectful and that he waited until Ken Shamrock was done before he started using the ankle lock.
Which is a lie, because Ken Shamrock, when he went over to TNA and was the first ever TNA champion. So how did he wait till he retired?
I think it's bullshit. I mean, they're not in the same company, and even when you're in the same company, some people are still using the same move. So
at the end of the day, right, when everyone was using the super kick and Shawn Michaels came back, they stopped using the super kick. Yeah, but that was because Shawn Michaels was the main eventer using the freaking super kick. Now, if Angle came back, they would have Swagger stop using the ankle lock.
Right, they would probably have some kind of a challenge between the two of them for who gets the right to use the ankle lock, and then Kurt Angle would win it, and Swagger would go back to the Swagger Bomb.
Exactly. It's not a bad thing. They're not doing it to insult Kurt Angle. They're doing it to pay homage to Angle's career, which was only decent when he was in the WWE, because in TNA he's just terrible.
Now I could see it being a reason to get pissed if they were calling it the Olympic Slam. But they really have just been not paying that much attention to it. And the ankle lock, I mean, it is the ankle lock. It was called the ankle lock before Kurt Angle started doing it. It's not like it's the angle lock, you know?
Yeah, it's really silly, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They have no reason. He has no reason to get all pissy about it, but he's doing it because it's Kurt Angle.
And I don't see anybody complaining that James Storm was using a super kick when Shawn Michaels was still wrestling.
There you go.
So, fair's fair. You know what I mean?
Checkmate.
And some other kind of ending statements like that. Game over.
Showstopper.
Have to.
So now it's Knockouts title time. Mickie James against Gail Kim, who is still the tag champ. I don't know why they have the Knockouts tag title. It's so stupid. But I got to go with Gail Kim retaining here. And it's because I think that we're going to see possibly Tara and Brooke win the tag titles back or whatever. And if you've got Gail losing the tag titles, then she's got to be the other champion at the same time. Like, I don't really like when they double up champions like that. And I know TNA tends to do it every once in a while, but I'm thinking if they're going to drop any of the titles for Gail Kim, they're going to drop the tag team title, and they're going to keep Gail at the top of the Knockouts division. So I'm sticking with Gail Kim retaining.
I see Gail Kim retaining, truthfully, but I don't. The thing is,
don't care.
I don't really. It's that they keep trying to push the title on every nutcase that comes from the WWE, and I just think it's ridiculous. You know, you've got a lot of credible contenders there. When Velvet had the title, she had it for like a day, and they took the title off of her and gave it to Gail Kim. You know. And that was Gail Kim versus Mickie James every 5 minutes.
So what do you think, Dace? Mickie or Gail? Which WWE former champion that left all pissed off is going to get the title here?
I would hope Mickie, but I think Gail's going to retain.
You know what's funny about this whole thing is this shows how much we're into TNA, because our discussions with WWE are full parts for each section, and this it's that person's going to win. The end.
Well, it's because the company itself has not made leaps and bounds to make itself relevant. And, you know, even though Bruce Pritchard is, helming the company at the moment, it's not getting anywhere because they're still making the same mistakes. That's the problem. You know, it's the same problem they're going to have for a while if they don't sort it out. but they're not going to. They're just going to keep doing the same, mundane storylines just to keep it going and ignore everybody else who says that they're not relevant. So,
well, one thing that I am actually excited to watch is going to be the Four Corners X Division title match, and that is Austin Aries defending his title against Jesse Sorensen, Zema Ion, and Kid Kash. And I'm hoping that Austin Aries retains here because he's been really entertaining. But I can kind of see Jesse Sorensen winning here. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But if I had to pick something, I would say that Austin Aries probably still retains.
I say we're going to see Kid Kash win the belt.
Thoughts,
That's
Dace?
one.
I'll go with Aries retaining.
Damn you, Dace.
Sorry.
I don't really see Kid Kash being around that much longer. I mean, he's been doing some good stuff with Austin Aries there, but I think it's kind of the flavor of the month sort of thing that TNA tends to do. I can see Kid Kash getting pushed down and thrown out, kind of like how Brian Kendrick was the guy for a while, and now he's not on the card anymore. And I'm thinking Jesse Sorensen sticking around for a little while longer. Zema Ion's just kind of floating around there. Kid Kash probably be gone in a while. And Austin Aries will probably be the person that they keep building this around because he's been doing so good.
I think he needs to move up, to tell you the truth.
I don't think he's ready for that. Although it's TNA, so really,
No, I don't mean like move up to the world title. I mean the TV title.
Oh,
because,
just that. Yeah, well, then I could see that happening.
he wouldn't be the worst person to actually have the division revolve around. Just saying.
Who is the TV champion right now? It's still Robbie E, right?
Yep.
Well, I like Robbie E. I could see Austin Aries moving up to that. And if they do that, then he could potentially drop the title here. And if he does, I think he's dropping it to Jesse Sorensen. But I don't know. We'll see about that one.
You feel that Sorensen has that sort of look, and he has nothing that stands him out for everybody else.
No, but that doesn't mean that they won't still do it.
True.
Yeah. Now we've got the tag titles. For some reason, TV title not being defended on here. Pretty much everything else is. I don't know. But we have the tag champs Matt Morgan and Crimson defending against Samoa Joe and Magnus, kind of randomly thrown together tag team. It sounds like something WWE would do. I got to stick with Matt Morgan and Crimson winning here, and I think it's pretty obvious why, because they're kind of like doing this whole undefeated thing, and really is Samoa Joe going to win with Magnus and derail that? I don't see.
I'm going to be a bit of a stickler here and say Magnus and Joe, because they're doing something with these two. I don't yet know what, but it looks intriguing.
You know what they're doing? They're feeding them.
But it would be good, to have a rather credible tag team actually holding those belts.
Joe and Magnus or Morgan and Crimson, Dace?
Retain.
Good man.
Damn you!
And then
interest in TNA.
yeah, I struggle, but hey, some people like it, so I have to cover it for the website. By the way, if anybody wants to do TNA for me, go ahead. I'll post your stuff on the website instead, and just make sure that you guys get the this was written by so and so. So that'll save me a lot of effort and a lot of frustration on once a month on Sunday night.
It's like he's a period.
It's just as bad. I think
there's Tony Mango's period.
There's a Ric Flair joke here somewhere.
Probably the constant bleeding.
So that ends us with the last of the TNA Genesis card, and that's Bobby Roode versus Jeff Hardy. And I'm assuming this is just going to be about like a 3-minute match. What are you thinking? 2 minute, 3 minute?
So the guy who holds the title versus the drug addict that everyone's waiting to screw up.
Yep. I think no brainer here. Bobby Roode wins.
Yeah, no, they've got to keep Roode's momentum going.
Sounds like Dace is over there is picking up the Jeff Hardy coke habit. What's going on?
Dace, you doing a sniff for Roode?
Yeah, I'm going to go Roode. He's off the chain.
Yeah, I think it's much too early for them to trust Jeff Hardy being the champion, and it's too early to take it off of Bobby Roode. So,
see, if I was
we're
TNA
talking about
right
making a logical decision.
yeah, that's kind of throwing that out the window, isn't it?
Yeah, if I was booking TNA, I would never put Jeff Hardy in this position.
I wouldn't have done
should
it
not
for
be main eventing a pay-per-view.
Not for a long while. He would have had to do more than just wrestle quick matches with Jeff Jarrett.
I would have had 4 years of the guy not main eventing pay-per-views because you don't know if you can trust him or not.
I would have at least had about.
Intoxicated.
I would have had at least like maybe 5 months, 6 months, something along that line. Build up towards it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and even then I'd use him as enhancement talent.
Right, you put him in some mid-card feuds with people like a Samoa Joe and Gunner, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when he's proven that he's been sober enough to trust again, then you start building him back up as an upper mid-carder and everything like that. Because of the fact that this is TNA, they could just give Jeff Hardy the title. And because apparently Hogan's a huge fan of him, I could see that happening. But I'm more so expecting to see at the next pay-per-view some kind of like a fatal four-way between Hardy, Roode, Storm, and Angle. And I'm thinking that that's going to happen with Hardy not winning the title here. Bobby Roode just kind of squeaking by and winning. Maybe like cheating to win so that way Jeff Hardy saves face and, gets another chance at the next pay-per-view and everything like that. If, by the way, they do have a fatal four-way between Hardy, Roode, Angle, and Storm, then I could kind of see James Storm winning that match against Kurt Angle, just to kind of make him seem like he's more credible. But I'm still going to have to go with Angle, and I'm still going to have to go with Bobby Roode just winning here.
Yeah, no, I have to go with Roode. I'm not seeing oh, you mean Storm versus Angle? Tony?
What's that?
Did you mean Storm versus Angle, or do you mean Roode versus Hardy?
I'm talking about if Hardy doesn't win the title here, that they're going to probably do a four-way at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I say that's what's going to happen. They're going to basically Hardy should, they're going to probably continue that storyline going on where Roode's having Bully Ray help him out to keep the championship. So I believe he's going to affiliate himself with Immortal, which is the thing that people do once they turn heel for some reason.
So that's that for TNA Genesis. We will have a review of that next episode 11. Hopefully soon. We will get all these videos up on iTunes. I'm looking for big things in 2012 when it comes to Smack Talk. If any of you are musicians and you would be interested in possibly doing an intro song as well as a song for, well, let me just say a parody of sorts. I don't want to say what yet, but if you know musicians or you got a band or something like that and you might want to join in, you'll get credit for whatever that ends up being used for. Let me know. Send me a comment, message, tweet, a bunch of different ways to contact me. And stay tuned for episode 11. Stay tuned for all the big things to come in 2012 with Smack Talk and Smark Out Moment and everything like that.
Big things pop in, little things stop in.
Exactly. And anything you guys want to talk about that we didn't touch on already?
Yeah, TNA is just awful. Awful.
Fuck Dixie Carter, right?
Yep.
You didn't say it enough this week.
I know, I didn't. That's how boring TNA is. It just makes me lose momentum.
Anything, Dace?
Fuck William Garcia.
All right, so that does us for episode 10. This has been a Smark Out Moment, and we're being counted out. See you next time, folks.
5, 2,
This is your outro. It's time to go. I'm going home now, so stop the show. This is your outro. And now I say goodbye to everybody, so forget my name. Yeah.